Welcome back. And I'm here at Buckingham Palace with tonight's main news. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have returned to Kensington Palace with their new baby. William and Kate emerged with the as-yet unnamed Prince of Cambridge just over half an hour ago. And before they left, they answered a few questions from the waiting media.
Well, he's got a good pair of lungs on him, that's for sure. He's a big boy, he's quite heavy, but we're still working on a name, so we'll have that as soon as we can. But it's the first time we've seen him, really, so having a proper chance to catch up and see him.
Well, I'm joined now by the television presenter and proud royalist Kirstie Allsopp and a tabloid columnist, Susie Boniface, better known as Fleetstreetfox, who's been taking a rather different line today. You're not interested. The sight of that little baby, did it melt your heart just a little?
Not particularly. There are babies born all over the place all the time, every day, and while they're very cute, if you get to bounce them on your knee, this one's got nothing to do with most of us. I think a lot of the excitement and enthusiasm that's been going on is very touching, but possibly a little bit hysterical and unnecessary, I think, for something we're never ever going to see and which we're all going to be paying for a long time as well.
She's right, isn't she, Kirstie?
No, we don't pay for it. It is the most extraordinary, economically beneficial thing for this country. The royal family generate hundreds times more than they cost us. I totally agree with you. If you're not interested in it, you're not interested in it. I'm not particularly interested in football. I wasn't wildly interested in the Ashes, both of which people get very excited about. But this is one of those things where it's all good. We've won the tennis, we've won the Ashes, the sun is shining, we've had some lovely weather, we've got a beautiful palace, a beautiful city, and there we have a royal family with a new baby.
But haven't we just gone a little bit too Disney?
Well, it's one of those things where the whole world, I mean, look, here we are in Media City, outside Buckingham Palace. The whole world is focused on the royal family. Yes, it is Disney, and it's great because Disney is a visitor attraction, and so is this city and this country. And economically, we need to remember that.
Well, Susie, we saw the baby coming out. This is the Royal Goldfish Bowl, isn't it? Sorry, yes, out of hospital. We saw the baby coming out of hospital, I'd like to say. We didn't get that shot, the other one. It's the Royal Goldfish Bowl, isn't it? You say, there's lots of other babies born, but none with this kind of pressure on him. We're all, it's only going to get worse for the royals.
Exactly, and a lot of the reason we've got all these people here at Buckingham Palace and they've been outside the Lindo wing today is because mainly there is a large media contingent with cameras there making it a big spectacle. The spectacle becomes a spectacle in itself. I had a wander through the crowd, say, this evening before I came to speak to you, and despite the fact that there's most people here are lots of tourists and so on, it was quite plain to me that they were taking pictures of the cameras, taking pictures of them. A lot of reporters from different countries are reporting on each other rather than, there isn't an awful lot to say about this. Someone's had a baby, that's about it. And I think it's the spectacle and it's the soap opera and it's the fact that this is a family and a young couple that lots of people can empathise with that makes it sort of more of a drama for us, a human drama that we all want to share in. But to go back to Kirstie's point about how much this earns for us, there are lots of countries with successful tourist industries that don't have royal families. If we didn't have a royal family, perhaps we'd also have a successful tourist industry. We don't know. We haven't tried it.
But there are 3 generations now in line. At the moment, the royals have probably never been more popular. They do seem to be popular. Kate and William have, reignited people's interest. There were so many young people down here. I just wonder, the solidity of the monarchy. I mean, when Prince Charles takes over, perhaps everyone will go off it and, there's a...
Perhaps it's naive to say this, but I don't see the downside. If you're not interested, you can switch off. There's lots of other channels. We live in a multimedia age. But if you are interested, it's fun, it's something to celebrate. And I think I come back to that thing. Yes, you're right. The media village, there's a lot of photographing each other because they've been waiting since the 1st of July. But actually, the reason that there is news outlets from all over the world here is that people all over the world are interested. There's a possibility that this baby will be head of the Commonwealth, will be head of state of lots of countries other than our own. And that is it's historical. We're all interested in history of masses of countries, and this is an important part of our history.
But don't you find it distasteful, the way there is a small child that's just been born and is immediately thrust into a media spotlight? His entire life is going to be lived out under the spotlight. And
long before there was a television camera, long before there were cameras, for hundreds of years, long before the birth of Christ, the birth of certain babies have been focused on. That is just a fact. There's no getting away from it.
Don't you think the fact that we treat him and his family as a soap opera is a kind of cruelty in a way, and we should perhaps lay off and leave them to go and have their private life off somewhere else?
But is that realistic? Is that ever going to happen?
Of course not. If Prince William decided to abdicate the throne when it came to his turn and wanted to go off and be a normal RAF search and rescue pilot, he'd have the press outside his door, I'm sure. But perhaps not for him, but for a few generations down, it would be possible.
I'm afraid we're going to have to stop it there because we're right out of time. Kirstie Allsopp, Susie Boniface, thank you so much. On a day when we finally saw the Prince of Cambridge. Back to you, John.
Katie Razzle at the Palace. Sorry we couldn't bring you that film about the Congo play. It got lost in the royal hubbub, but we aim to bring it to you tomorrow. But that from quite a jam-packed Channel 4 News, well, that is Channel 4 News. Good evening.